Before the season and after the injury with Chase Utley, there were questions about who would step up on offense. In the air to left field, Francisco nails one. Second home run of the inning for the Phillies. And it's his first of the year. 4-0 Phillies here in the bottom of the first. The only question about pitching was how good. And I think the answer is a bit clear. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 outs. Bottom of the ninth. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a splitter. The 0-2 pitch. On the outside corner. Called strike 3. Halladay bears down and strikes out the last 2 batters. The 0-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to shortstop. Rollins has it. Short way to second. The ball game is over. Back-to-back complete games by Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee. This one a shutout. It's a special night around baseball, the celebration of Jackie Robinson's legacy. That's right, it's Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball land. And tonight here in Philadelphia, the Phillies get set to open up a 3-game series against the Florida Marlins. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Sarge. Wheels will be along a little later on. Pretty special the last couple of nights for Phil's pitching, Sarge. Last night, Cliff Lee, coupled with Roy Halladay 2 nights ago, gave the Phillies back-to-back complete games. Tonight, it's Roy Oswalt. But before we talk about Oswalt, we have to think back to what Cliff Lee did last night.
Vintage Cliff Lee there as he was on the mound, just throwing every kind of different pitch. Now, let me tell you what makes him so good. He likes to win. He believes in his ability to be able to do just that. When you talk to him, he'll let you know he's out there having fun, throws the ball on the inside part of the plate. You can't beat guys like that want to go out there and perform under any kind of circumstances and do their job. Not only that, these guys, they like going 9 innings. Doesn't like anyone coming in and doing their job there, too. Know how you win division championships? Well, you got to win the series there, Tom. And I'm telling you, the Phillies have done plenty of that.
Well, the Phillies have won every series so far this year. Now they get set to come back home and take on the Florida Marlins. It's nice to win series. It's nice to win series within their division. And that's exactly what they've done to start the year. Tonight, it'll be Roy Oswalt on the mound for the Phillies. And he'll be opposed by veteran right-hander Javier Vasquez. Speaking of Roy Oswalt, what does Cliff Lee think Roy Oswalt will have in store for the Phillies and their fans tonight?
What about Oswalt tomorrow? How do you think he's going to do?
I think he's going to do just fine. He's off to a pretty good start, and I expect nothing but more of the same.
Well, more of the same would be another complete game for Roy Oswalt. It's been a good start. We'll see if it continues. The lineups and first pitch when we return. By Toyota. Toyota offers fuel efficiency you'll love, only better. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Xfinity. It's TV, phone, and internet reinvented, only from Comcast. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies get set to begin this homestand in the 3-game series against the Florida Marlins. And the last 2 nights on the road have been outstanding for the Phillies because Cliff Lee and Roy Halladay were able to make it just special nights, back-to-back complete games. First time since '99 that's happened. The last time the Phillies had 3 straight complete games was all the way back in 1993. But look at that, 21 strikeouts in 18 innings and only 9 hits allowed between Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee. Roy Oswalt will take the mound today. He's unbeaten here at Citizens Bank Park during his career. Let's take a look at the lineup he'll face. Brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field is Chris Coghlan. Omar Infante, the second baseman, bats second. Hanley Ramirez hits third, followed by Mike Stanton and Logan Morrison. Gabby Sanchez is at first base. He'll bat sixth. John Buck hits seventh. Donnie Murphy, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is Javier Vasquez. And they will face Roy Oswalt, the 33-year-old, who is 2-0 so far this year with an earned run average of 2.25. Oswalt very quick with his warm-up tosses tonight. And Chris Coghlan is digging in. And every ball player wearing number 42 in honor of the late Jackie Robinson. And the first pitch of the game is in there for a strike. We're underway.
And almost every ball player wears a shirt, but not Roy Oswalt. Look at that, shirt sleeves tonight. As you look at his numbers, he was really good in his last outing against Atlanta down there.
Commanding against left-handers who are hitting just 105 against him.
Southwest Airlines scouting report on Roy Oswalt. Pretty good numbers against the Florida Marlins. And, you know, another guy that uses a lot of different pitches and relies on that command. And, you know, with the Phillies with their veteran starting pitchers, it's a broken record after a while about how they try to spot their pitches.
Chris Coghlan hitting .288 this year, a home run and 5 RBIs. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A changeup that he just threw there, and he's behind in the count when he throws it to Coghlan. You saw him jump at it. Oswalt has great arm speed with his pitches. That's why he's able to slap that 62 curveball up there in full hitters with it.
And he was using that the other day against the Atlanta Braves. 6 strong innings against the Braves. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it with a fastball. Little high cheese to Chris Coghlan. And there's one away here at the top of the first.
Well, that's right after he threw a changeup, and now he throws a fastball 93 miles per hour away. Not a strike, but he got him to chase it right there out of the strike zone and gets a strikeout right to begin the game. Time now for a Nissan keys to tonight's ball game. Here they are. This is a good young team the Phillies are playing right here. They have some very explosive players. They're going to get a little bit better. And the Phillies, well, they're going to throw a little bit of a different lineup tonight, Tommy, against Javier Vasquez.
Yeah, Charlie Emanuel mentioned this past week in Washington that he'd like to get some of his bench players into the game, and he's done just that tonight with Pete Orr at second and Ross Float at right. Speaking of bench players, Omar Infante used to be a bench player, but he's an everyday player now for the Florida Marlins. Became an everyday player really with the Atlanta Braves over the last couple of years. He was acquired in the Dan Uggla trade by Florida this past offseason. And he takes a 2-0 low, 3 balls and no strikes.
He's a nice guy to hit too in your lineup because he sprays it. He can hit the ball behind the runner, hit it to right center, get a runner to second base with nobody out and get him over.
Well, you figure he was taking all the way with the count 3-0 and a fastball for strike 1. Hanley Ramirez is on deck. He's had a slow start to the year. 3-1 the count to Infante. And a chopper foul. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infante was a member of the All-Star team last year representing the National League and the Atlanta Braves. Charlie Emanuel picked him because he was looking for a utility guy. National League wound up winning that All-Star game out in Anaheim. And the payoff pitch in the air to right center field. Not that deep. Coming on is Victorino. Still coming on. He gets there. I think that fooled Victorino off the bat, but he has enough speed to track it down.
Well, a guy takes a big swing like that, a lot of times they can't hear the same thing you hear in here, and that thing went kind of clunk. You see he's playing a little bit over towards left center, and then he has that long run. As Tom said, he can just outrun the ball, but Guy takes a big swing like that, the last thing you think is it's going to be a dunker.
Well, 2 outs now for Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez has enjoyed a pretty good career, young career against the Phillies with 11 home runs.
He has 3 home runs off Roy Oswalt.
Overall, a .393 hitter against Oswalt. A wide open stance from the right side. And a fastball belt high for strike 1. Hanley Ramirez with 123 home runs since 2006. Troy Tulowitzki, well, I think you could say that Tulowitzki might be closing on Hanley Ramirez.
In a hurry. He's off to a great start this year. So is Oswalt tonight with his high fastballs. It must be a game plan to try and get them to chase up. And he has a real lively fastball.
Already has 1 strikeout plus the pop out at a high pitch. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ramirez. Outside 2-2. Got that one up to 94 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's an advantage pitcher night in a lot of ways because it's miserable here. It's cold. And you know, these guys are used to playing in warm weather in Florida. Just came out of Atlanta where it was nice.
Hit foul off to the right now to play. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned the last time the Phillies had 3 straight complete games was back in 1993. Charlie Emanuel was asked today about the complete games. Will he try to get his bullpen some work? He said, get him some work. The starters will stay out there as long as they can. And Ramirez out in front, pops it behind the plate. Ruiz puts it away, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Roy Oswalt. Nice start for Oswalt. Retires the Marlins in order. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Marlins 0, the Phillies coming up. Bank Park. The Phillies have enjoyed home cooking already this year to a 5-1 record. Let's take a look at their lineup tonight. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco bats second. Then Jimmy Rollins and Ryan Howard, followed by Raul Ibanez in left field. Ross Clode makes his first start of the year. He's at right. He'll bat 6th. Hitting 7th is Carlos Ruiz. Pete Orr is at second base. He'll bat 8th. And batting 9th and pitching is Oswalt. And they'll face 34-year-old right-hander Javier Vasquez, who Wheels is making his 29th start against the Phillies.
Phillies have seen a lot of him. Tom originally signed by the Montreal Expos. Pitch in the National League for a long time, also with Atlanta. Here's our scouting report from Southwest Airlines. That fastball way down from what it used to be with him. This guy used to be a mid-90s fastball with a great changeup. Still has the changeup.
Victorino leads it off and takes a fastball outside, and there you see 85 on the gun on that fastball.
Yeah, he's had some arm problems over the years. The ball used to just explode out of his hand, and his changeup off of 95 was devastating.
A couple of years ago with the Braves, he finished 4th in the Cy Young voting. That was 2009 when he struck out 238 in 219 1/3 innings.
Yeah, he's always seemed to pitch better in the National League than the American League.
Victorino takes it inside. Another fastball.
And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
He's blowing on his hand like he can't get loose right now, or his hand's cold. Active leaders against the Phillies as far as wins. We saw Levon the other night, and there's Javier Vazquez, Brad Penny, and then Josh Beckett.
Outside, ball 4. Victorino's aboard with the leadoff walk.
One thing, of course, the Phillies don't do a lot of is walks, so they're not a real high on base percentage team. But that's good to see Shane do that right there, because Vazquez wasn't even close to the strike zone.
Here's Placido Polanco. Well, Greg Gross has dialed up some pretty good game plans over the first couple weeks of the season. And I guess their game plan might be to wait him out a little bit.
Well, especially when you're leading off the game, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world to wait for strike 1, especially when the first 2 pitches aren't even close.
Let's see if Polanco does that. And he was taking all the way, and it's in there for a strike. By the way, you saw the active leaders in victories against the Phillies, Vazquez and Livan Hernandez with 12. Well, with this start tonight, Vazquez has more starts than anybody else currently pitching in the big leagues against the Phillies. His 29, 1 more than Livan Hernandez. In the air to right field, not that deep, and Mike Stanton should have an easy play, 1 away.
Well, he got off his fastball to Polanco. He threw him a slider and then a cutter after throwing 4 straight fastballs to Victorino, and that's the kind of thing that Vazquez can do because he has a lot of pitches.
But compared to a couple of years ago, there's not a huge separation between the pitches.
That's speed. That's the difference. Like I was saying, you know, you're talking about a 95 fastball with a 70-some mile-an-hour changeup. He was so tough to hit. The one way you could get to him, he would throw home run balls, and if you keep the game close, someone might pop one on him.
Here's Jimmy Rollins. Rollins with a 5-game hitting streak. His average of .320. No homers and an RBI. And a line drive down the right field line. That's in for a base hit and going all the way to the wall. Victorino's already at third. Samuel will put the stop sign up. It's a double for Rollins, and the Phillies have runners on second and third. 4th double of the year for Jimmy Rollins.
That thing came off the wall perfectly to Mike Stanton, who can really throw. So Sammy had to stop him. That looked like another cutter. It kind of hung out over the plate a little bit. Fair by plenty, but watch the bounce. Hits the wall right there, comes right back to him, and he's in there to get it.
And Rollins is safe and secure at second, safe and secure with New York Life.
See what they're going to do with their infield now. It would appear they're going to play it back and concede a run on contact. And they're going to go 3 overshift with Ramirez, the shortstop, on the left side, on the right side of the infield.
Now that's a little different. Perry Hill is the infield instructor and first base coach for the Marlins. He was a longtime coach of the Marlins that just came back this year. I say it's different because Ramirez sometimes will stay on the left side of the infield instead of moving to the right side, and they'll move the third baseman to the right side. Howard hits one in the air to right field. That's pretty deep. Stanton going back. He may have room. He's at the wall, makes the catch. Tagging from third, Victorino. He'll score. Rollins hustles to third, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. He just got that one off the end of the bat, and look how far it went.
Yeah, the flags are blowing from right to left. Kind of hard to tell sometimes what the wind's going to do here, but as Tom says, he hits that right off the end of the bat. You can see it there. He got his ace swing at it, but he didn't get a whole lot of wood on it. So as a result, it just died out there in right center field. Stanton makes a play. Jimmy moves over to third with 2 outs.
So Victorino scores his 10th run. Howard drives in his 14th. He's among the league leaders in that category. And here's Ibanez with a runner at third. Not that it matters, but Rollins will get a good lead off third because Donnie Murphy, the third baseman, is way off the line. Where it would matter if there's a ball that gets away from John Buck, and let's say it doesn't go all the way back to the screen, but gets away far enough to allow Jimmy to get a good jump.
Yeah, and you want to see a walking lead from your base runner right now.
Down the right field line, he hooked it foul. And it's 1-1 to Ibanez.
And that's just what Jimmy Rollins did there. And as Tom mentioned, maybe the ball will bounce away and steal a run on a wild pitch.
The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Joe Gannon of Southampton. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, the Big Joe will win $100. Ibanez loops one to right. That's a base hit. Rollins will walk home from third. It's an RBI for Ibanez and an early 2-0 lead for the Phillies. Tell you what, Wheels, that's a great sign because 4, 5, and 6 on the road trip really struggled, and 4 and 5 now have the 2 RBIs in this game.
Yeah, and that was something off speed, and it was up in the zone and rolled in a nice job of just looking for the base hit. See, he almost one-hands it there. Base hit the right field, and Juan Samuel's very happy, of course, that Jimmy had come over to third on the play before that, because now you don't have a decision.
Runner at first, Ross Glode, his first start of the year. Phillies' best pinch hitter only got up 1 time on the road trip.
See right here, like I said, it's something off speed. It may have been a changeup, either that or a curveball, because it was so slow. Can't tell from that angle. But you know, he's a low ball hitter. When he gets out, when he makes out, it's usually because he chases up.
Glode pops it up. Foul territory, third base side. Buck off with the mask, has room, puts it away, and the side is retired. But a productive first for the Phils. They get a couple runs on 2 hits. They leave 1. Ibanez gets an RBI. We go to the second. Your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB fan guide. Compliments of Scott's. Top of the second, Mike Stanton leads it off for the Marlins. And Stanton, who's been battling leg problems in spring training. He's had a quad issue, a hamstring issue. He's ahead 1 ball, no strikes.
He blew a tire in a college game they were playing, their first exhibition game. Was it against Miami? I'm trying to remember. They were playing a college team, and he hurt his leg and missed quite a bit of spring training.
Last year he hit 22 home runs, 59 RBIs in his rookie season.
Oh, he hits them. Well, there's no doubt about it. He hits some line drive homers.
Fastball on the outside corner, 2-1. You combine those numbers with what Stanton did in the minors last year. He had 21 home runs. He had 43 home runs.
Made his major league debut right here last year.
And Oswalt throws a changeup, and it's 2-2. Well, the conditions here at Citizens Bank Park, 48 degrees and cloudy. There's a storm coming in that is going to be here in the Philadelphia area at some point tomorrow. Supposed to get nice on Sunday, even better on Monday.
All right. It's very windy here tonight, too, so it feels a lot colder than 48.
2-2 the count to Mike Stanton. And a breaking ball cut on it. Missed. Second strikeout for Oswalt. One gone here in the second.
Really early, but he has good stuff tonight. He has command of his pitches. Throwing his changeup. It may have been the first curveball that he's thrown. Has a real good, lively fastball. And he has the lead.
So Stanton is retired. Logan Morrison will bat. Morrison's a .304 hitter. He already has more home runs this year than all of last year when he hit 2. He has 3. 9 for 26 on this road trip. And he's hit in 7 straight games.
Another one of the good looking young hitters they have.
Well, they have, according to Elias, the league statistician, they have an outfield that includes Stanton, Morrison, and Chris Coghlan. Their average age is 23, and there's only been 2 other teams in baseball history that have had a younger collective outfield, and it's 2 different Tampa Bay Ray teams. In fact, it was before they changed it to just the Rays. They were the Devil Rays, and that was back in 2003, or excuse me, 2003 and 2007. 2-1 the count to Morrison.
Some of that is because of economics. You know, they need to have a lot more young players. Now, they hope that some things are going to change, because if they get out of that place they're in this year and get into their new ballpark next year, and it'll be a baseball park instead of what they have to play in South Florida.
That one just missed off the outside corner, a pitch that Oswalt wanted, and it's 3-2. Rob Drake is the home plate umpire tonight. Gary Darling's over at first, Bruce Dreckman's at second, and Paul Emmels around at third.
Remember this guy last year, we saw quite a bit of him, and he ran one deep count after another and fouled pitches off and made a lot of contact. They lead the league in doubles. They're a high on base percentage team.
They lead the league in doubles. They lead the league in extra base hits with 42. 3-2 the count. And a swing and a miss. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Oswalt. That's 3 Ks for the Phillies right-hander. And they're 2 away here in the second.
Well, he's not happy with that changeup. He's happy with the results. But that thing must have looked like a beach ball coming up there. Watch. It's supposed to dive down and away, and look what it does. It just stays up, and it's a ball high, but it probably looks so big and slow to Morrison that he just said, well, I'm going to swing at this.
Oswalt fires another strike to Gabby Sanchez. Sanchez has reached base safely in all 12 games this year, and 16 dating back to last year.
Yeah, it's another one of those guys that gets on base.
1-1 the count to Gabby Sanchez. 27-year-old who was a rookie a season ago. And he chops it over to shortstop on the second hop. Rollins has it over across the diamond in time. Another 1-2-3 inning for Oswalt. 6 up, 6 down for the Florida Marlins. We played 1.5 here in Philadelphia. The Phillies up 2-0. Into the home second here at Citizens Bank Park, and Carlos Ruiz will lead it off, and that leads us to our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And that was last night when he got a slider from Jordan Zimmerman, and that was the first hit of the game for the Phillies.
First base runner.
Yep. Zimmerman had a perfect game up to that point.
Went down an escalator with him last night in the train station in Washington. I asked him about that pitch in a typical Carlos fashion. He said, "He hang it, I bang it." That was very simple. He said, "How about that other slider that he struck you out?" He says, "I couldn't hit that one."
He's hit in 7 consecutive games. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to him. Ruiz during this road trip was 10 for 20 with 2 home runs. 1 was a grand slam and 6 RBIs. And he had a chance to be behind the plate in 3 of the 4 outstanding outings that the Phillies pitchers put together on the road trip. Chopper toward the hole, diving play by Murphy to his feet, and because Ruiz is running, he had time to make the throw. That's a fine play. So 1 away here in the second. Hey, reminder, the New York Mets will be back in town before the end of April, and this series winds down on Sunday, May 1st. It's an 8 o'clock start thanks to national television, and that's Sunday, May 1st at 8 o'clock. Limited ticket availability. You can get those tickets by going to Phillies.com. So if you hold tickets for that May 1st game, it is no longer a day game. It is a night game against the Mets. Here's Pete Orr. Orr is making his second start. His last start, he went 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. In the air to left center field. That's pretty well hit. On the run is Morrison. Also out there is Coghlan, and Morrison makes the grab. And the wind may have hung that one up there for Morrison to track it down. 2 outs.
A couple good defensive plays behind Javier Vazquez. See, the flags are blowing out to left field, but Tom said you don't know. I mean, they could have knocked it down. It's really hard to tell right now what the wind's doing. You'd think it would knock down more to right and right center, and then it would carry that way. But he had it all the way. He put his hand out to run the center fielder off. Then the thing hit the pocket. And that's why they use those big old long gloves, those outfielders.
So Orr's 0 for 1. Oswalt gets the bat for the first time. And he watches that one go by for ball 1.
Marlins over the years have not been a good defensive team. It's one of the problems why they struggle is they don't give a team 3 outs. They give them more, and their bullpen has been shaky. They think they're a better defensive team right now.
And the only guy that's had trouble defensively so far for them is Hanley Ramirez, who has committed 4 errors over at shortstop. Other than that, Murphy has an error, but everybody else in the starting lineup, well, John Buck has 1 error too, but everybody else has been pretty clean. But Ramirez has 4. 2-1 the count to Oswalt. Oswalt's 1 for 4 this year as a hitter. And the 1 was a base hit to right, and he got thrown out trying to stretch it into a double.
Yeah, that was in Atlanta last week when Hayward gunned him down.
Well, he got Hayward later on, so
yeah, he did.
Good retribution. Ball 4. And Oswalt didn't realize what the count was. He just asked Rob Drake, and now he'll go to first.
I better bring him a jacket too, even if he doesn't want it.
Well, he said it's kind of cool outside. Well, inside the booth, with the wind blowing the way it is, the conditions little colder. Wheels, what do you think? -10 with the wind chill at 30. You feeling that right now? Got your scarf on. I mean, it's as if we're the Arctic right now.
It's not comfortable.
We have the fleeces on though, Wheels. You can wear these fleeces.
These are nice.
They said in the 20s these fleeces would be good.
Should have known when that light came on you were up to something.
What do you mean I was up to something?
Well, there's an instigator who will go unmentioned right now, but you certainly are a willing participant.
I will admit to that. Victorino's behind in the count 0-1. Victorino in the air to right center field. Stanton out into the alleyway toward the track. He's there with Coughlin. They collide. The catch was made, and the side is retired. Boy, Chris Coughlin just ran into a very big man out in right center field, but he was able to put it away, and the Marlins get all around the ballparks in Major League Baseball and even in minor league baseball. Some of the teams are celebrating Jackie Robinson's legacy. The number 42 was retired in 1997. No one around baseball can wear it now unless they were already wearing it before it was retired in 1997. And the only person that is wearing it right now is Mariano Rivera. And take a look at some of the highlights of Jackie Robinson's career. And most importantly, as he broke the color barrier on this day back in 1947. He didn't have a hit in that game against the Dodgers for the Dodgers at Ebbets Field, but he did score a run. And we begin the top of the third, and you know we're holding up the number 42 Brooklyn Dodgers road jersey that was worn by Jackie Robinson, and these are available obviously at Mitchell and Ness at the Alley store here at Citizens Bank Park, and it's a great jersey, and the number 42 is always on the minds of the players as Ross Glode makes a beautiful sliding grab in foul territory for the first out.
Yeah, he tore some of the padding away out there in the wall too as he went into that slide. That's a heck of a play by Glode. Hopefully he didn't jam his ankle. He's really slow getting up. Is it a fair ball? No, it's a foul ball, but watch right there, and on the bottom of the padding he tears it away right there as his foot goes underneath, and a little slow to get up, but
well, they're giving him some extra time out in the outfield. Jimmy Rollins came to the mound. Carlos Ruiz went out to the mound as well. Well, Wheels, it was Ken Griffey Jr. who asked the commissioner of Major League Baseball if he could several years ago wear the number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson, and Rachel Robinson, Jackie's widow, said it was absolutely fine with her. And then a couple of other players decided to wear it as well. Mike Cameron was one. And now all over baseball, everybody wears the number 42 on Jackie Robinson Day.
Well, it's a great tribute. You know, I really didn't get to see him play that much. I was too young, but I heard enough from the guys that did play against him. The guys who were on the Whiz Kids that I got to know so well, especially Whitey. He used to say the worst thing you could do is get Jackie Robinson in a rundown, because he would wind up at the next base. Said he was the most unbelievable athlete. And what is it? There's Whitey right there who could run the bases too, to say the least. But he said Jackie Robinson was just amazing, and I think what it took to succeed and what he went through, and he really was handpicked by Branch Rickey, because it wasn't just the player that was going to do what he did, it was the person involved, and he was the right man at the right time. And it's wonderful that the sport is honoring him, because you know, not only is an important to the game of baseball, but what he did helped change the world.
Absolutely. And there is a museum that they're hoping to open at some point in the next couple of years in Lower Manhattan, which is where the home of the Jackie Robinson Foundation is, that will continue to show his legacy, his work, and how athletic he was and what a great human being he was as well. Roy Oswalt, a 1-2-3 third. He's faced 9 batters so far. He's retired all 9 as we go to the bottom of the third on Jackie Robinson Day. Fastest mobile broadband network by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices, and by the Quality Plus Ford stores. On a windy, cool night here at Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies are home, and it's great to be back in Philadelphia after 6 days on the road. The Phillies were 4-2, and they had a very good opening homestand to the 2011 season. They sit atop the National League East, and they've scored 2 runs against Javier Vasquez, who was a little late getting out because he made the last out in the top of the third. Ross Glode talking with Brian Schneider and Mark Anderson, the Phillies athletic trainer. He made a heck of a grab to start that third, and he looks like he's walking okay, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, he went into that slide just a little bit late. That's why they go into those slides coming across the foul line. But he had his eye on the ball, and he wanted to make sure he caught it, and then he went into the slide, and that's how he almost hurt his leg. Great play, though.
Yep, Polanco leads it off for the Phillies. He flied to right his first time up. Polanco enters this game with a 4-game hitting streak. He also has an RBI in each of the last 3. Any questions about his elbow, at least for the first few games of the season, have been answered because he has swung the bat quite well. He's also played a heck of a third.
And he did that even when his elbow hurt last year.
That'll find the seats over the third base dugout. Out of play. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Washington has jumped out to a 3-0 lead over Milwaukee. Wilson Ramos has a base hit and a run scored. Milwaukee has been pitching exceptionally well over the last week or so, even without Zach Greinke. Polanco to center field. Coghlan comes in and makes the grab.
Yeah, left-hander we're going to see next week. Narvison's pitched really well for him. Sean Markham, who the Phillies will face on Monday, he just dazzled them last year when he was with Toronto. He throws one changeup after another, and then they're going to get Randy Wolf, who'd been hit around and then had a good game last night. Gallardo, who's their #1 guy, I guess, with now that Greinke isn't pitching. Gallardo, right. He is really good.
Here's Rollins, who doubled and scored his last time up, and Rollins takes a pitch low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jimmy's now hit in 6 consecutive games. To center field again, and Coughlin moves from gap to gap to make this play, and there are 2 outs. Oh, Wheels, I know you're waiting for it, but here's the Dodge Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com, go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, Cliff Lee was originally drafted by what MLB team, but went instead to Meridian Community College in Mississippi before going on to star at the University of Arkansas? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. 2 outs for Howard, who has an RBI tonight, his 14th of the season on a sac fly. Tries to check his swing. Doesn't matter. That pitch was a strike, according to Rob Drake. Solid start for Howard.
Vasquez, if you look at Cliff Lee right there, was just surgical last night, the way he diced up the Nationals. There's Chase Utley just trying to get better.
Yeah, ran yesterday for the first time. Ran around the rim of the infield yesterday. Took some batting practice again today. Took some ground balls. Charlie Manuel said he is progressing.
Yeah.
Slowly, but he is progressing. But it's a good thing, or it's good news that he started to run and he felt good today.
Yeah, that's the thing they do. He gets to a certain stage and then they wait to see how he feels the next day.
Swing and a miss, a changeup, and Howard is down on strikes. First strikeout for Vasquez. Phillies go down in order here in the 3rd. 3 in the books in Philadelphia with the Phils on top. Than WB Mason with free next day delivery and at many locations free same day delivery. WB Mason is the one office supplier that really delivers. Who but WB Mason? We go to the top of the 4th. The Fanatic entertaining. Well, I guess that's entertaining. There are some that are smiling, but only the ones that are on the perimeter of that walk up the stands. I don't know how he's able to do that with those big feet that he has. Here's Chris Coughlin, who struck out his first time up. And he takes a fastball outside. Gary Matthews joins us here at the top of the 4th. So far, so good for Roy Oswalt, who has been throwing strikes and has been setting down the Marlins, Sarge.
Yeah, good control here with his fastball. And every time you talk to the pitchers, they'll tell you they work off the fastball and go from there. Good fastball.
Yeah, that's an overpowering fastball right there. It jumped at the end, or at least it seemed like it did.
That's the difference, though, between now and then. Early on when he was pitching, he'd throw like this hard just about all the time. Now he mixes it up, and when he has to come at you, he will.
In the dirt, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Coghlan. Well, Oswalt here at Citizens Bank Park in 11 starts is 10-0 with a 2.17 earned run average. And you also include 1 postseason start. He has 11 wins without a loss. He was 4-0 with the Astros. And that's a called strike 3 right on the outside part of the plate. Coghlan can't believe it, but that's a little paint right there.
Boy, let me tell you something. That pitch is just filthy. Nothing you can do about it, especially if you're looking for off speed there at all. This ball just freezes him. Looking at it on the outside part of the plate with that movement. That's a good pitch.
He had no chance at that one.
Oh, boy. You're just hoping that he fouls that off, or maybe he ends up calling it a ball.
1 strike to Infante. Infante fly to center his first time up. Little low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, he's the type of pitcher, if you're hitting against him, you almost want to stay hard because he throws the ball hard most of the time. Don't want to look for off-speed pitches.
Well, he comes back with a slider, and it's 2-1. In the air to left field. That's pretty well hit. Ibanez may have room. He does. At the track, makes the catch. 2 outs. Follow the Phillies with the MLB.com @BAT11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. 2 outs here in the 4th, and Hanley Ramirez is the batter. Ramirez fouled out to Ruiz his first time up. And there have been a number of instances tonight where Oswalt has put on a little bit of a clinic in pitching, but that at bat was probably the premier clinic because he got Ramirez out in front.
Anytime they're off balance, that pitcher has done his job. Now, Ramirez talked about being the leader of this young ball club, but the fact is you can't talk about being a leader. You got to show by more example. Now that bugs the pitcher. That, to me, a little bit of a late call.
Yeah, I'm surprised Rob Drake gave time to Hanley Ramirez, honestly.
And take a look at it now. Once he starts, that should be it. Now it's way too late.
That's way too late. I agree with you on that. And they're not supposed to give time. You know, the hitter is supposed to stay in the box. He's not supposed to step out in between pitches anymore. We talked about that.
Well, not only that, though, you don't step out until, well, you do hear that timeout. Good pitch.
1-2 the count to Ramirez.
Well, that was more courtesy, though, getting that call. You know, just stepping out kind of on your own.
Oswalt's ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hanley Ramirez. Already 4 strikeouts in the books. Here's the pitch. Down the way, 2-2.
Tried to hump up on that pitch there. Wanted it inside. Trying to jam Ramirez. Has an open stance at the plate. Looks for the ball out over the plate. He's one of the young stars in the league that can hit that ball a long way at that shortstop position.
Wearing number 42. Even the umpires tonight. See, Rob Drake has the number 42 on the sleeve. Ramirez, Ruiz, everybody on the field. The payoff pitch to Ramirez down the right field line, and that slice is foul and out of play. Stanton waits on deck. good battle going on right here between Oswalt and Hanley Ramirez, with the Phillies up 2-0 and 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Ramirez 21 home runs last year, 76 runs batted in.
He's a guy that should drive in more runs than that.
Now there's ball 4. First base runner of the night for the Marlins. And it ends a string of 11 in a row, retired by Oswalt to start the game. So Ryan Howard will hold the base runner on for the first time tonight. And that means Oswalt will work from the stretch against Stanton, who struck out back in the 2nd. Look out. Wow.
I just almost don't have time to move when the ball comes off of the bat like that. Really got to pay attention sitting over the dugouts on both sides.
I think even if you were ready, I'm not sure if you would have been able to stop that one. Foul tip into the glove of Ruiz. It's 0-2 to Stanton.
Well, he put that ball in a pretty good spot.
Ramirez leads off first. And the pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Another strikeout. Stanton was overmatched on that pitch from Oswalt. And the Marlins are retired here in the 4th. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. And everything seems to be working for Roy Oswalt tonight against the Fish. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 800-JEFF now. By Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Phillies lead at 2-0. We begin the bottom of the 4th. Ibanez against Javier Vasquez. And Vasquez takes a strike. It's 0-1. Ibanez had an RBI single his first time up. In the air to left field. Morrison stood his ground and then went back to the track to put it away. And there's one away. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Sarge, listening to Edwin Rodriguez, the manager of the Florida Marlins today, he was talking about Jackie Robinson, and he said that he read a story where there are more than 200 players from outside the United States that are in the majors, on major league rosters right now. And he said when he read that story, he thought about Jackie Robinson.
Oh, well, you can't help but to, and especially on this date here. And all the people, though, that he has helped and the things that he endured throughout his career there. I mean, not just a baseball player. I mean, here's a guy that was very intelligent, went to UCLA, and again, he was no nonsense. Pretty mean player, too, from what I understand.
Ross Clote is the batter, and he lays off a pitch. It's 2-0. Well, I thought it was interesting because Edwin Rodriguez, who is from Puerto Rico, he's the first Puerto Rican-born manager in Major League Baseball history, and you think about getting his opportunity, that Jackie Robinson opened the door for him.
Well, exactly, for all people there of color, Puerto Rico there, even some of the guys there, as that ball is smoked.
Stanton on the run. He nearly overran it. He did overrun it. He caught it in fair territory. It takes a breath. 2 outs here in the fourth.
But for Rodriguez to actually know that, well, you know that he does feel the same way about Jackie Robinson. There's Mr. Rodriguez, manager there, Florida Marlins. Here's that ball just off the end of the bat there of Claude. Other than that, that ball is headed in the area as he overruns it. Making a pretty good catch of it. Just out in front a little bit.
Saw the breakdown quickly of the outs for Vasquez. 9 fly ball outs so far, including 5 of the last 6 outs recorded. Carlos Ruiz grounded to third his first time up. He's the only one that has a ground out tonight. And a line drive, base hit down the left field line. That one's heading toward the corner. Morrison cuts it off before it gets to the corner, but Ruiz will pull into second with a 2-out double.
Boy, he is really hitting the ball hard, coming on very strong here lately. Remember, didn't get a lot of spring training, but look at that fastball he turns on. His setup, watch, foot down as he turns on it. That's what you have to do. You clear your hips on an inside pitch.
And now they're going to walk Pete Orr intentionally. And they'll pitch to Roy Oswalt here in the fourth. Sarge, is it early or odd to walk Pete Orr in this spot down just 2-0, or is this an indication that the Marlins feel like Roy Oswalt's got some pretty good stuff and they don't want to take a chance of another run scored?
Well, they don't want to give up another run, and they'd rather have it with 2 outs. A right-handed hitter as opposed to the left-handed Orr. They're just taking their chances that, you know, they'll be able to get the pitcher out, and good for the Phillies because it turns over the lineup.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, maybe you get a base hit here from Roy Oswalt, too. Well, this Monday, the Phillies will welcome in the Milwaukee Brewers for the start of a 3-game series. 2 night games and a day game. That day game is the Citizens Bank Business Person Special. But the first Hatfield Dollar Dog Night of the year will be Monday at 7:05. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. 2 away. Oswalt walked his first time up. Mayfield is back all the way around with 2 outs. And Oswalt takes a breaking ball for a strike.
That's like a get-me-over breaking ball. Roy Oswalt was trying to ambush him there, meaning first pitch fastball. He was already geared, getting ready to swing. Vasquez used to throw a lot more fastballs than that. You know, not throwing as hard as he used to. More of a finesse type pitcher right now, as opposed to a power pitcher throwing more fastballs.
Throws another breaking ball. That one hooked outside. 2-1.
Well, that's 3 breaking balls in a row. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. And not throwing a lot of fastball, although Roy has worked himself into a fastball count.
And he has 2 on. You saw Ruiz and Orr take their lead. Two and 1 the count to Oswalt. And a fastball at the knees.
Guys will have to get a good jump. Outfielders are in. Center fielder, right fielder.
slowly hit foul right past Juan Samuel. Well, in the outfield, just to give you a quick scouting report of the arms that are out there. In left field, Logan Morrison has a below average throwing arm. In center field, Coughlin has a below average throwing arm. This is all part of the scouting report that the Phillies have. In right field, Mike Stanton, who's the shallowest of the three, well, he has a gun.
Good arm, strong arm. Get that. Usually the right fielder does have your strongest arm.
Runners lead off. High chopper toward third, and Murphy will just run it to the bag, and the Phillies are retired in the fourth. No runs, a hit, 2 men left. Roy Oswalt will go back to the dugout before heading back to the mound against the Marlins. Jackie Robinson with the players wearing number 42. Some of the Negro League stars from the Philadelphia Stars honored before the ball game. Malin Duckett and Harold Gould, and some of the surviving members of the Tuskegee Airmen. They were part of the color guard tonight, and the Jackie Robinson Foundation scholarship winners for Philadelphia, all part of the festivities tonight. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Logan Morrison gets into one. Deep right center field. Victorino on the run into the alleyway. That one is gone. Just over the bullpen fence. The first hit of the night for the Fish. It's a solo home run. Well, Morrison with his 4th homer of the year, and a salute to his father who passed away this past offseason.
Yeah, well, he's a good hitter. Well, look at this, out over the plate, hits that ball straight away center field. It's kind of weather, wind, kind of crosswind there a little. That ball was hit a ton.
Well, that's his 4th home run of the year, 10 RBIs, and Gabby Sanchez takes a pitch low. It's 2-0. That's only the 5th home run allowed by Phillies pitchers this year.
Oh, they've done a great job in keeping that ball in the ballpark.
Fastball for a strike. I think it's impressive, Sarge. Just 5 home runs allowed.
And usually the balls that are hit out of the ballpark are the ones that are more belt high.
Second home run surrendered by Oswalt. The other one was off the bat of Hunter Pence. That was an opposite field shot. 2-2 the count to Gabby Sanchez. And he just missed on the outside, off the outside corner.
Well, he wanted that pitch. Good pitch on the outside part of the plate. Good movement. Could have easily been called a strike.
Towards center field. Here comes Victorino. He's not going to get there. It drops in front of him. And a single by Gabby Sanchez. Back-to-back hits now for the Marlins. Ball wasn't hit that hard. It was like a thud on that bat.
Yeah, it was a good pitch. He jammed him. Gabby, though, strong enough to fight that ball into center field.
Here's John Buck, signed as a free agent by the Marlins after he hit 21 home runs last year for the Toronto Blue Jays. Chops one toward the middle. Rollins to his left has it. Flips to Orr for one. Over to first. Dug out by Howard. 6-4-3, and it was a fancy double play turned by the Phillies here at the top of the fifth.
Yeah, the guy that made that play there, besides J-Ro, getting that ball going up the middle. Strong arm by Orr, as he's showing you that. Take a look at it there as he gets the ball, flips it on the side. Now that's where he makes it up with that flip. Ryan Howard up to the task there. There's that flip again. Want to make sure you get one, and there's two.
Had a strike to Donnie Murphy. 0-1 the count. Nice job by Pete Orr and Rollins because of the injury to Chase Utley. Jimmy Rollins has had to get used to a couple of new second basemen this year. Valdez he was used to already. Talked to Jimmy about that last week. He said he's got Valdez down. He knows where he's got to be, where Valdez is on double plays. He said Pete Orr and Michael Martinez, it's taken some time, but he's gotten used to the two of them. He said all of them have different styles.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has different tendencies. That's why they work together early on in practice, so you can kind of get the timing down on those double plays. That's just a good athletic play, that 6-4-3 double play.
1-2 the count to Murphy, and the pitch down the right field line, foul. Well, he tried to freeze him with a hook, but it just didn't break enough. 2-2.
Roy Oswalt, just at that last minute when he's throwing, kind of jumps at you a little bit. So it makes it difficult sometimes to determine whether or not it is fastball or the off-speed pitch. Got to really pick up that pitch quickly.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Another strikeout for Oswalt. That's his 6th of the game. That finishes up the 5th. The first 2 outs, though, on a nifty double play. Started by Jimmy Rollins. The exchange by Orr. Sixers Heat playoff coverage. Get geared up for the tip-off with expert analysis and exclusive reports on Drive to Glory, presented by Buick tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Sixers will open up against the Miami Heat, the opening round of the NBA playoffs. And it's nice to see the Sixers back in the playoffs. Shane Victorino will lead it off here in the 5th. Victorino 0 for 1, shows bunt, and takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Victorino, too. He's the type of player, even with that infielder in, if he bunts that ball in the right spot there, right going down the line, he'll still end up getting that base hit there. Pretty difficult to throw out.
This is a very different Javier Vazquez than the one we're used to seeing.
Yep.
Back in 2009, he was more of a power pitcher. I mean, there's no two ways about it. In 2 years, his style has changed unbelievably. 2-2 the count.
Now he's more finesse type of pitcher now than before. He'd try and go out and strike that hitter out. Now he wants him to make contact, but make contact on more of a bad pitch. That's why he's got so many deep counts.
He's been in the American League and a National League. That's why he's been able to beat all 30 teams. Now, 2 years, Sarge, and he's 35. But what does it tell us that in 2 years he's changed this much?
Well, he's had to. Pitchers do that. Same as hitters. That's making an adjustment from the way that he used to throw and throwing the ball, being a power type pitcher.
Outside 3-2.
There again, when you see that type of a pitcher, all you're doing is trying to wait back. You know, he shouldn't be able to throw the ball by you. These kind of guys more or less will trick you more than being able to throw the ball by you, especially for a strike.
Outside ball 4. Victorino's aboard with his second walk of the night. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, one of the surprise teams in Major League Baseball. Well, two of the surprise teams, the Indians and the Orioles. The Indians now more so than the Orioles because the Orioles were swept by the Yankees. The Indians lead the Central with the Kansas City Royals.
Unbelievable. That's why it's early. That's why you play 162 ball games, too.
You mean they can't just call it quits now?
Don't want any luck involved.
Placido Polanco's the hitter. He's 0 for 2. Ooh, Victorino. It wasn't that he was leaning. He was frozen in his tracks.
What do you think? Maybe thinking about something else?
Yeah, about stealing second base. He's thinking, I'm going to get a good jump on this guy.
Yeah, you can get out there a lot of times and be able to see that sign, 1, 2, or 3.
He's frozen again, and they nearly got him.
Mays used to do that quite a bit and being able to steal on the breaking ball because you only use the one sign as Victorino getting back, just getting back, but that's the kind of lead you want, just getting back.
Sam Perlazzo's taken over the running game for Davey Lopes, who's now with the Dodgers as their first base coach. Victorino has stolen 2 bases this year. He's been caught 1 time. At least leading by 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. There he goes. Nope, he stopped. He broke, and then he must have just spun his wheels.
Well, that's why, too, Polanco took that pitch. You know, he thought he had a good jump. If he had gone when he was going on the break, I thought he had a pretty good jump. You know, you have a base stealer on as a hitter. You can look for those fastballs. He continues to get off-speed pitches. Victorino should be able to walk down to second base.
Polanco's the kind of guy, we've talked about this, he can wait for 2 strikes. He's the best hitter this year, average-wise, with 2 strikes. So he's only got one strike here, but you would imagine he's going to give Victorino another pitch.
Well, he's not afraid to get him over at second base and be able to get him over with no outs.
0-1 the count. Another throw over. Just trying to tucker him out, Sarge.
Yeah. Trying to keep him close to that bag.
Do you get winded as a base runner diving back like that?
No, only going from, first to third. Sometimes when they're fouling it off with 2 outs, maybe a little bit winded, but not going back to the bag.
Line drive, base hit it to left field. Victorino wasn't going, so he'll stop at second. And the Phillies have first and second with nobody out.
Well, splitting that concentration will make pitchers throw a bad pitch. That ball in. We don't see Paul Polanco pulling a lot of pitches. He still needs to be able to see where this pitch is as it comes in. Something soft, but look how he just waits on the ball. The longer you wait, easier it is to hit. One of the reasons he's 10 for 19 with men in scoring position. And he's just he's a solid hitter. He stays line drives. He hits a lot of line drive ground ball that enable him to stay on the ball, be able to see it.
So nobody out. Rollins is the hitter. Rollins doubled his first time up. Retired by Coghlan his last time to the plate. Takes one on the outside corner. That's not the pitch he wanted. It was a curveball.
No.
That's the kind of pitch that you'll roll over on to the right side if you're not careful.
Yeah. In these situations, though, too, is that third hitter some kind of way. You need that runner at third base and less than 2 outs.
Tell you, they are really giving Rollins the left center field gap. Now, he doesn't often shoot the ball the opposite way, but they are really cutting off the right center field gap.
Yeah, and they'll throw the ball toward the outside, hope that he does pull the ball. J-Ro does pull a lot of balls and gives you an indication of the charts that are being kept. Pulling that ball there on the ground and also fly balls in the field.
Outside, 2-1.
Well, you just got to like so far this season the way the hitters have been patient at the plate. Vasquez is a pitcher that you got to be patient with. He's not afraid to pitch behind in the count. This is where he should get a pretty good pitch with Ryan Howard hitting behind him. That's when it pays to have a good hitter behind him. More than likely he should get a fastball. He just wants to make sure that the ball's not up in the zone, more belt high or down, and be aggressive with it.
3-1 the count to Rollins. Runners on first and second. The pitch popped up, foul territory, slicing toward the dugout and out of play.
See how he's practicing there, swinging down on the ball, trying to get on top of the ball. Don't think Charlie's going to send the runners in this situation. A lot of times, too, though, the runners are on their own.
Polanco peeks at Victorino. They lead off. And Vasquez wanted to make sure Victorino wasn't going to break toward third, so he spun back toward him.
Big spot in the game right here. Well, they can get over, too, on a long fly ball.
In the air to shallow left center field. Long run for Coghlan. Morrison is there, and he makes the catch. And And there's one away. Victorino back to second. Polanco back to first. And Rollins just shakes his head because that's not what he wanted to do.
No, not a good at bat there. And that, not a bad pitch. The last two pitches, 3-1 was the best pitch that he had.
Edwin Rodriguez talking to Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach. Randy St. Clair was a longtime pitching coach for the Expos and the Nationals before he was let go by Washington and then hired by Florida. Hey fans, host your next corporate or social event at Citizens Bank Park. You can get a chance to take a tour of the ballpark. Use the new Fanavision, the new HD board. It's a beauty. Call the special events department at 215-218-5100 or log on to Phillies.com/special events. There's so many spots around this ballpark that when you come to see a game you may not have seen, well, you can use those spots for one of your special events. Ryan Howard is the hitter with one out. Runners on first and second. Vasquez, the right-hander, looks back at second, and he delivers outside.
Big hole between shortstop, almost could drive a truck right through it.
Well, if he drives a baseball through it, Victorino's going to score easily.
The left fielder's back, should be able to score, and Polanco should be able to get into third.
In the air to right field, that's hit right at Stanton, who makes the catch. And still runners on first and second, now with two outs.
See how important that is to be able to get that runner over to third base. That same ball with Shane Victorino on third. He scores on that ball.
Right, even with Stanton's arm, there's no chance he would have thrown Victorino out of the plate. So Rollins pops out to left, and Howard lines out to right. And it's left to Ibanez, who has an RBI tonight. He's 1 for 2. Line drive, base hit into right field. Victorino's around third, heading for home. Here's the throw by Stanton. They let it go by. He scores standing, and the Phillies take a 3-1 lead. Another two-out RBI for the Phillies. Over to third goes Polanco. And a 2 RBI night for Ibanez.
Boy, that's what you call clutch hitting. You're picking up your teammates with a base hit. Now, Polanco, he's rounding. He's trying to get that throw drawn to third base as an off-balance throw comes in from Slayton, not getting very much on it. You can see how digging right now. Shane comes in with no slide at all.
3-1 Phillies. So Victorino has scored 2 of the 3 runs tonight. Rodriguez coming out to the mound. He has a left-hander up and throwing in the pen. It's Randy Choate. It's a little tougher, Sarge, to tell who the guys are because everybody's wearing 42.
Right. Exactly. I could see, too, though, Vasquez, why, again, for Ibanez, a little bit easier hit. Doesn't throw as hard. Ibanez is the type of hitter that does weight back, and that's why he's able to get that bat hit through there. Not swinging up at all either. He's having good passes at the ball.
3-1 Phillies here in the bottom of the 5th.
Clutch hitting by Ibanez. Anytime you pick up 2-out base hit, consider that a clutch hit.
Phillies lead the league in that category. And a breaking ball drops in for strike 1 to Glode, who's 0 for 2. The infield is back. Ramirez, the shortstop, shaded a step or 2 toward the middle. Phillies have first and third. The 0-1. Swing and a miss and a changeup.
Take a look at this pitch here as he throws it off speed, looking fastball. Been there, done that.
Not sure what John Buck was doing when he hopped in front of the plate like that. To right center field. Stanton's on the run. It'll hang up there for him, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Vasquez allows one. It could have been a lot worse for him. We go to the 6th with the Phillies up 3-1.
Season acquisition of Major League Baseball. Back in a Phillies uniform, back on the mound, and back in command. Number 33 was dominating in the District of Columbia. Out of his left hand and into Chooch's glove, 12 Nationals went down by strikeout. Cliff Lee fired his 6th career shutout and did it with just 99 pitches. This complete game performance is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way.
Well, Cliff Lee was the first Philly to have 12 strikeouts or more in a game and less than 100 pitches in a ball game. Not only that, he's the second in Major League Baseball history to throw a complete game with those numbers. The only other guy to do it, Sandy Koufax, when he threw a no-hitter.
It's all company there.
Yep. Emilio Bonifacio is the pitch hitter for the Marlins. He bats for Vasquez. Bonifacio is switch hitter, batting left-handed against Oswalt. Hitting .261 on the year, and he pops it up right on the edge of the outfield grass, and Orr makes the catch. Well, Javier Vasquez has been around for a long time, and he is a competitor. In between innings, when Randy St. Clair came up to him and told him he was coming out of the ball game, he was not too pleased about it.
Yeah, well, he thought he was pitching pretty good, and not bad though. You're giving up the 3 runs, but when you're down like now, you got to be able to pinch hit, trying to get back into the game.
Yeah, maybe get a leadoff base runner aboard. Didn't work out that way. Here's Chris Coghlan, who's 0 for 2. Coghlan shows bunt, brings the corners in a little bit with that. Chris Coghlan was the Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. To right center field. That's pretty well hit. On the run is Victorino. So is Glow. Victorino's out there. He makes the sliding attempt, and it's off the base of the wall. Boy, he got it back quickly. And it's a double for Coghlan.
Well, Coghlan timing that ball. I thought for a second Victorino might have had outrun that ball. That ball's been hanging up in the air. Makes a great play, nevertheless, as he slides down to be able to get that ball there. Comes off of the wall. Just didn't get there. Maybe another couple of steps. You can see that ball in front of him. A little stand-up slide, ball coming back. That fence giving him a little help with that ball coming right back to him.
Oh, and he made sure he got it in quick enough that Coghlan stayed at second, because he was probably thinking 3 if that ball got away from Victorino. Here's Infante, and he bunts at it and bunts it into the glove of Ruiz. It's 0-1. $80 pitches for Oswalt. Not that any of the Phillies starters are that flamboyant. But Oswalt is probably the quietest of the five. Wouldn't you agree, Sarge?
Well, doesn't talk very much. Well, he goes about his work, blue collar like. All of those guys, though, really are just about the same. They don't do a whole lot of talking, and especially about themselves.
Inside and high, 2-1. Well, the guy you just saw with the hooded sweatshirt on in the dugout, Roy Halladay, a 1.23 ERA, second best in the National League. And over in the Marlins dugout is the guy who has the third best earned run average in the league, and that's Josh Johnson. And neither will pitch in this series.
But Johnson, he's been pitching lights out himself. Throws the ball extremely hard. He's come up with a good breaking pitch. Almost kind of learned how to pitch now. Wants to be the #1 on their staff.
Three and one the count to Infante. He's 0 for 2. He's flied out twice. Hit hard inside the third base bag. Down the left field line, and Coughlin's going to score. Infante will get to second. And again, it's a one-run ball game. Back-to-back doubles for the Marlins. And they are the league leader in 2 base hits. As it turns out, Phillies are thankful they scored that extra run, but they're going to need some more.
Yeah, ball right down the line. The fastball that was in on Infante's hands. He's turning on that ball. Infante, we've seen him with the Braves. He's a good fastball hitter.
Well, now he's in scoring position with 1 out. Hanley Ramirez, the batter. Ramirez 0 for 2 with a walk, or 0 for 1 with a walk, and he takes a fastball for strike 1. Phillies are going to get bullpen action up. Danny Baez has started to throw in the pen.
Well, Roy is up third in the lineup after this half.
Hit hard to second, but right at Pete Orr. He takes a glance over at Infante going to third. And there are 2 outs.
Oh, that ball was hit hard, even though it was not a base hit. Just a matter of time before Ramirez starts to get that long ball stroke. Hope it's after he leaves Citizens Bank Park, however.
Yeah, he had 63 at-bats in the spring. This is Hanley Ramirez without a home run. And he now has 41 at-bats here in the regular season without a home run.
Well, he's going to get hot and hot on someone.
Here's Mike Stanton. Struck out twice tonight. And a swing and a miss. And that's the kind of pitch that Oswalt's been tantalizing Stanton with the entire evening.
Boy, you just get so frustrated as a hitter when you're swinging at those soft pitches and swinging through them.
Fastball popped up to the right of the plate, up the first base line. Howard's coming down. Chooch is there, and Chooch makes the catch as he falls down, and the side is retired. Oswalt got into a little bit of a jam here in the 6th. He allowed a run on 2 hits, but he threw the right pitch at the right time and had the right catcher in the right Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. By Acura, Acura Advance, and by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. The 130th consecutive sellout, which is pretty amazing, folks.
It sure is.
45,000 strong here tonight. In fact, it's the second largest regular season crowd in the history of the ballpark. Pretty amazing. Edward Mojica is the new pitcher for the Marlins, over from the Padres. And he'll pick up for Javier Vazquez. They got two guys from the Padres, Mojica and Ryan Webb, and it's helped the Marlins to the second best bullpen of the National League. You know, is the best bullpen in the National League, Sarge?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Fighting Phils.
Fighting Phils. That is exactly right. Ruiz leads it off. And he hits the first pitch in the air, shallow right. Infante's out, Stanton's in. One pitch, one away here in the bottom of the sixth. And that'll bring Pete Orr to the plate. We'll get an indication in a moment if Charlie Manuel is inclined to go to the bullpen in the seventh, because Oswald is due up after Orr. Orr was intentionally walked in the fourth. Flied out to deep left his last time up. And Oswald's out of the on-deck circle. Well, based on the last couple of nights, you know that Charlie Manuel feels good about his starting pitchers. And Orr just missed an extra base hit.
Boy, it's nice to have maybe tipped that glove there, but that ball is foul all the way.
Oh, into the count. Off the end of the bat, that's a flare to left center. That'll drop in for a base hit. And Orr is aboard with one out here in the sixth. Oh, the red-hot Colorado Rockies are going to be here at Philadelphia Wednesday, May 18th for the first of two. In fact, Thursday the 19th, you see that cap right there to the left. All fans will receive it. It's Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night at the ballpark. And that cap is free to all fans. It'll go nice with that jacket. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. In fact, that hat would go with the old school Phillies jersey.
That powder blue.
Yeah. Oswald shows bunt. One ball, no strikes the count. Orr can run off first. Sarge, we showed off the Jackie Robinson flannel earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Pretty sharp Dodger blue. And Oswald bunts it toward first, and it rolls foul. It's one ball, one strike. You have a favorite uniform?
Yeah, you know what? Favorite uniform.
Don't tell me it was the orange Giants jersey.
It was the San Francisco Giants.
Don't
orange.
tell me that.
Yeah, it was. I'm just telling you.
The orange one?
That's right. Very nice. That's what I like.
What about that one right there?
That was
the
good.
Zipper, remember the zipper?
I do remember that zipper.
Did that hurt when you slide?
No, it didn't hurt at all, as a matter of fact.
Oswald bunts it, this time fair, and Mojica goes to second, and they got Orr. Wow, Ramirez hung on to the bag. That's an impressive play because Pete Orr can fly.
Oh, boy. Well, you're right. That was just a great play there. Catcher calling second all the way, so he picks that ball up, turns and fires toward the bag. Ramirez does everything else. Watch this play there. He's got plenty of time, though, as he throws it. But that's the thing. He throws it right in the line of the runner, but he stays on the bag. See his foot right on the bag as Orr comes in sliding.
That was a heck of a play because if you think of it in terms of the shortstop becoming a first baseman just to get the force.
It just shows you his athleticism.
Right, because he had the wrong foot on the bag. Because he thought about turning 2, but the throw pulled him off. Or at least pulled him away.
Yep.
Victorino's walked twice and has scored 2 runs. 1 ball and no strikes. A little whistling going on from the Marlins dugout. Edwin Rodriguez wanted to lay down some new signs for the defense.
I thought he just wanted his first baseman to play behind Roy Oswalt.
You know what? That could have been it too. Everybody looked. I looked.
Yeah. Now he moved away, moved back just a little bit. Not going to hold the pitcher on. They don't run that often.
2-1 the count to Victorino.
Most of them, however, with a lead like that, running start, would be able to make it down to second base.
Two and two now to Victorino. A little out in front of that splitter from Mojica.
That's the one he wants to swing at, though, the one that's up in the zone. Just want to try and stay through that ball if you can.
Phillies lead it by 1. 2-2 the count to Victorino with Oswalt at first. Victorino spun his wheels on that swing. He stays alive, though. Toyota Major League Scoreboard, they had tornado warnings down in Atlanta, and the rain in those warnings have forced a postponement of the Braves and Mets game. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. Mets had a doubleheader yesterday. In fact, that weather system that's coming east that caused the postponement of the Braves game caused some tornadoes in Mississippi.
Wow.
During the course of the day. Very pleasant here at the ballpark. A little cool. The count is even 2-2 to Victorino. He's fouled the last couple of pitches off. And he flares that one down the left field line and out of play. Well, look at the National League East standings. The Phillies and the Marlins are the only 2 teams above 500. Phillies lead the division by 2. Braves are 4.5 games back. Everybody thought they would be the Phillies' toughest opponent, and they still might be, and probably will be as the year moves on. Mets are 5.5 games off the pace. Nationals are winning their ball game tonight.
Still really early. Although these early victories can get you out there where you don't have to really put as much pressure on yourself.
9th pitch of the at-bat for Victorino. Oswalt will be off and running on this pitch. There he goes. And it's hit to the right side. And the second baseman Infante will take care of Victorino and the Phillies here in the 6th. No runs, a hit. 1 man left. Will go to the 7th. Phillies up by 1.
the Verizon Wireless game summary on this very pleasant night.
You like that, didn't you?
Can't believe I just heard you say that. At Citizens Bank Park, Logan Morrison has a solo home run, and Charlie Manuel and Mark Anderson, the Phillies trainer, Tom, are headed out to Roy Oswalt with the umpire, and that means there could be something wrong with him, and they would wave the trip off to the mound.
Yeah, he was stretching his legs when he was on first, Wheels. I wasn't sure if there was something going on with either his back or his legs. We'll find out after the ball game, obviously. Mark Anderson and Charlie Manuel immediately went out to the mound as Oswalt was starting to warm up, and Charlie Manuel signaled to the pen to bring in J.C. Romero. So Oswalt's night is done. He's going to get a very nice round of applause, and rightfully so, because the Phillies starters over the last 3 games, well, they have been outstanding. He'll leave with a 1-run lead. And let's hope he is okay, as J.C. Romero will come in, and he'll get as much time as he needs to warm up, although he's been throwing in the bullpen. Mound. He already put Ben Francisco in the game, so this is not a double switch. Francisco was in before Oswalt started to loosen up, so now J.C. Romero's in. He'll bat 9th, and you see Romero in his 6th ball game. No wins, no losses, a 2.25 ERA. The Phillies statistically have the best bullpen in the National League right now, and Roy Oswalt started to loosen up a little bit on the mound, and that's when Mark Anderson, one of the Phillies athletic trainers, came out with Charlie Manuel. And this is the bunt by Oswalt, and watch him run up the first base line, and watch the end of it right here. Started to slow up a little bit, and then his left hand went on his backside. So we'll see. Hopefully he's okay, because he pitched very well tonight.
Well, this is a kind of night if you could stiffen up real fast, obviously, because it's cold here tonight, and we'll just wait and get the report.
Logan Morrison, who homered in the 5th, will lead off the 7th. Lefty against lefty. And a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, this is where the bullpen, of course, now needs to step up for 9 outs, because they haven't been used much. They want to get into some games, but they're happy about the complete games. But now they have their shot.
And you have the 2 ERA-wise best bullpens in the National League going at it now, because the Marlins are in their bullpen in a 1-run game.
Have Danny Baez up in the bullpen for the Phillies. Ryan Madsen, Contreras, they haven't pitched much.
Charlie Manuel was asked about that today, if he was going to try to get his bullpen some work. He said, quite frankly, getting them work at the expense of the starters is not something he's he was going to do. If the starters were cruising along, he was going to stay with the starting pitchers.
Right.
He said there'll be plenty of time for guys to get their work.
Plenty of time. All of a sudden, guys are out there 3, 4, 5 days in a row, or maybe 2, 3, and an off day, and then back for another day. So that stuff's coming.
1-2 the count to Morrison. 2-2 the count. J.C. Romero, one of 2 lefties for the Phillies in the pen. Antonio Bastardo's the other one. We'll see how long he's in this game with Sanchez on deck, a right-handed hitter. Back toward the middle, off the glove of Romero. It rolls toward Howard. He flips to Romero, and it's off his fingertips. And everybody's safe.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where, you see a pitcher and they react for it because they want to try and make the play. But if you let that go, it's an easy out.
Well, they're going to score a base hit. So Morrison has his second hit.
See what happens. It's a dribbler, but it's hit hard enough that if JC doesn't field that, it's going to go right to Pete Orr. See, Pete Orr had already gone after the ball, then has to change direction, and they try to make that play at the end. It's kind of a tough play, and now they're going to go to Baez.
So that's it for J.C. Romero, an infield hit for Logan Morrison, and Charlie Manuel will bring the right-hander Danny Baez in with Gabby Sanchez due up. So it's 3-2. Phillies lead it by 1 here in the top of the 7th inning. The Marlins have the leadoff batter aboard. We'll be back with Danny Baez right after this.
Through 6 and had to leave with what we don't know, and we'll let you know as soon as we do it. He did touch his lower back a little bit there after he went past the first base bag, and then went out to throw a few pitches, and they got him out of there.
Well, now the second pitcher or third pitcher used by the Phillies in this inning, Danny Baez, is on. He'll pick up for J.C. Romero. Runner on first, nobody out, top of the 7th. Morrison has not stolen a base this year. And Baez's numbers, this is his 7th game, 1 win and a 1.50 ERA. 7 hits and 6 innings of work. They're just trying to keep Morrison close over at first.
Yeah, they think something's going on here, whether they think they're going to hit and run on the first pitch or Morrison's going to try and steal because he's getting throwovers from the bench.
Morrison didn't steal a bag last year in 62 games in the big leagues. He stole as many as 9 twice in the minor leagues.
Right, so they're more inclined to think that maybe they're going to try and play hit and run on the first pitch. They did not. Here's another good hit and run count.
Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The Phillies set up to turn 2. They turned a Pretty impressive double play back in the 5th inning. And at the knees at 91, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Sanchez, who looked like he was taken all the way.
It's another one of those counts. If you're inclined to put your runner in motion, play hit and run. Not teams play that much anymore.
Morrison doesn't go. And a foul ball up the third base line. Joey Espada, who was a teammate of J.C. Romero when they were younger, the third base coach.
He just did a no-no. He just took the ball and rolled it into the dugout. You're supposed to toss it to the fans nowadays.
He faked it to the fans first.
That's really bad. That's a double no-no. You don't do a bait and switch there. This is a little chin music right here and an up and in fastball. He certainly didn't mean to do that. And now they're in a count where they may run.
Morrison creeps off the first base bag. 3-2 the count. He goes. And a chopper toward third, a foul ball. He got a pretty good jump too. I mean, he was waiting for the pitch to go, but he still broke pretty quick off first.
And Baez is slow to the plate, so they feel that they're able to do that. We talk about this all the time because you're not supposed to. As Tom said, he got a pretty good jump off there. The jump is one of those things that is secondary to that, to make sure that you don't get caught, because all you're doing there is you're in motion. You're not trying to steal a bag.
I should say he timed his jump very well. He goes again. Down low, ball 4, and there are runners on first and second. Well, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank, with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com.
They have to talk about a bunt right now. You see that Citizens 7 group out there pretty happy. You got a great big guy up here in John Buck who's knocked in runs for them. He's a 3-run triple this year. He's got a grand slam home run. So, would they bunt here in the bottom of the order? Who knows? The pitcher, obviously they would hit for him, so that doesn't come into play. They probably don't think he's going to bunt, but they have to be ready just in case.
And just so you know, switch hitter wise, they've used Emilio Bonifacio off their bench. Phillies creep in. Buck doesn't square and takes a fastball inside. 1-0. Baez, who was signed to a 2-year contract prior to last year, had a rough 2010, but had a good spring and pitched well, and has pitched well this year, but this is probably his toughest spot of the season. Swing and a miss. And I say that, it's only April 15th, but Charlie Manuel has kind of eased him into spots so far in the first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, and he has to throw the ball over the plate. They have the infield hitting a walk in this inning.
Back toward the middle. Here comes Victorino. Drop in front of him for a base hit. They'll put the stop sign up at third, and the bases are loaded. Still nobody out here at the top of the 7th. And what do the Marlins do? Do they bring back Donnie Murphy? Nope, they're going to let him bat. So an infield single, a walk, and a single to center.
Rich Seavy's going to come out and talk to Baez, and they'll talk about the infield defense now. And the Phillies will probably play for a double play. They would gladly give up the tying run at home here in the 7th inning for 2 outs. But he's got to throw strikes.
Oh, they're also going to get Ryan Matson up in the bullpen, it looks like. Nope, it's going to be David Herndon. They get up in the bullpen.
And they had Bastardo up also.
Conversation is through. Bastardo's getting a drink as he starts to throw. Herndon just starting to fire too. Greg Dobbs has come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. Here's Donnie Murphy with nobody out. The Phillies do play for 2 with the bases loaded. And the pitch from Baez. Popped up. Shallow right. or is there. Infield fly rule is called. One away. That was a good pitch.
A good pitch, and they can't be happy with that if you're the Marlins, because you got a guy that out there in the Phillies who's all over the place, and he jams himself on the first pitch and pops up in the infield.
Just anxious.
Yeah, just not a good job of hitting. Good job by Danny. Runs a fastball in on him. See how he gets jammed and hits the pop up. That was a delayed reaction. It's like, wait a minute. That's a guy that, yeah, boo.
Well, signed as a free agent by the Marlins and had a very good spring, made the club, has played some over at third base for the Marlins, and came into this ball game kind of hot. He was 5 for 13. Everybody thought he would start tonight with the right-hander on the mound, but Edwin Rodriguez had been playing him the last couple of days. He struck out 3 times last night, but he wanted to make sure that he spelled Greg Dobbs and didn't play him every day.
Now, of course, the double play gets you out of it.
Dobbs had a rough year last year for the Phillies. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. He had a rough year last year, but he had some productive years with the Phillies. I mean, look at the numbers overall. In 455 games, a lot of those as a pinch hitter.
Had a lot of big pinch hits for the Phillies, especially early on in his Phillies career. Did a good job here. Did struggle last year.
Helped them to the World Championship in 08. The 0-1 pitch. Line drive toward left field. That's going to drop in front of Ibanez for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the second runner. The throw to the plate is offline, and the Marlins take the lead. So Greg Dobbs dumps one in front of Ibanez for a 2-run pinch hit single. And it's 4-3 Florida.
Very aggressive coaching at third base, too. They wave him around there and the throw offline. A fastball in the middle of the plate. Inside outside a little bit. And a lot of topspin right in front of Ibanez. Had a reach to the side a little bit. Didn't get much on the throw, and it was wide. And Greg Dobbs comes through.
So Charlie Manuel's coming out to the mound, and that will be it for Baez. He makes the call to the bullpen. So he decides not to bring in the lefty to face Greg Dobbs. He decided to stay with Danny Baez, but now with Chris Coughlin, another left-handed batter due up, he'll go to the lefty Antonio Bastardo. So 2 runs are in here at the top of the 7th. The Marlins are up 4-3. Is now available on DVD. It features great plays, walk-off victories, and Roy Halladay's Cy Young Award season. Available at the Majestic Clubhouse store at Citizens Bank Park or by calling 877-GO-PHILS. Antonio Bastardo takes over for Danny Baez. Baez just allowed the 2-run base hit to Greg Dobbs. Bastardo, 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. I guess Charlie's thinking was, Baez he thought could get Dobbs, but now you have a guy that's probably a tougher left-handed hitter in Coghlan, and you bring Bastardo in to face him. With runners on first and second, 1 out here at the top of the 7th. Coghlan doubled and scored his last time up, and he takes a slider away.
Yeah, and I don't think you wanted to bring him in with no wiggle room either, with the bases loaded. Bastardo. So, and he took a chance on Baez and it didn't work. Now he has a little wiggle room, but not much. And ball 2 right out of the chute. That's what you don't know about this guy. You know whether or not he can come in and get big outs for you in games. We're still trying to find out.
Dobbs is on first. Buck is on second. 2-0 the count to Coghlan. That one's not that deep toward left center. Victorino's there, and he puts it away for the second out. So that was a good pitch to get Coghlan. He shakes his head.
Especially 2-0 because Coghlan just thinks he got himself out.
And Omar Infante is due up.
Here's the 2-0. And he throws a fastball down the middle, and you see Coghlan's reaction there. Then he probably thought he should have hit that. And he's not necessarily a pull hitter, but that was a pitch to pull.
Infante doubled Coghlan home his last time up. 1 for 3. Phillies trail it by 1 now, and they're trying to get out of this inning. And they may just do that. Victorino over to the right center field gap, makes the catch, and Bastardo does a nice job. He comes in, settles things down. He leaves 2, but the Marlins score 2. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia, and Placido Polanco will lead it off when we return. Wheels Cliffley was originally drafted by what MLB team, but went instead to Meridian Community College in Mississippi?
I only know this because I did research on Cliff Lee yesterday, and we always write down who he was drafted by and what round and all that. It was Florida.
The Florida Marlins is correct. He decided not to sign, went on to play junior college baseball, and then went to the University of Arkansas, where he's currently in their Hall of Fame. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans, and was finally drafted in the 4th round by the Montreal Expos. Well, the Marlins this past offseason traded Cameron Maybin to the San Diego Padres for Edward Mojica and Ryan Webb. And Webb and Mojica have been a big part of the Marlins bullpen so far this year. Ryan Webb, whose dad, Hank Webb, played in the major leagues. And he's on here to pitch in the 7th against Placido Polanco, Jimmy Rollins, and Ryan Howard. The Phillies down 1. Said it was a battle of bullpens, and it really is right now.
Ryan came from the Clearwater area, comes from the Clearwater area, and mentioned his dad, Hank. He's the former director of the Clearwater for Youth Foundation that we're all very familiar with down there. Brian Unst, our old friend, was a former chairman of that, and John Timberlake is going to also take over that role at some point, and they have done a lot for young people in the Pinellas County area. Well, Hank has been around the Phillies for a long time, and here's his son Ryan, who is a really good fastball.
Well, he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Polanco, and the first 2 pitches have moved every which way, but still in the strike zone. And the pitch way outside.
Fastball slider for the most part. Tough on right-handed hitters. We saw him last year with the Padres.
In Florida, I guess you can kind of say they gave up on Cameron Maybin, but they wanted to shore up their bullpen and do it inexpensively, which is why they made the trade with the Padres. And they figured they had Coughlin to take over in center, particularly after they acquired Omar Infante to play second base.
Yeah, Maybin's been pretty good for the Padres early in the year, and they kind of gave up on Maybin too. You know, he had been up and down, up and down. I think they thought, you know, I don't know what we have here, but we're going to try and do something with our bullpen.
I was a little surprised though that the Padres let Webb go. I mean, last year a 2.90 ERA in 54 games. And Polanco hits it softly to second, and Infante throws him out. Well, it's time now for the Home Depot defensive play of the game, and this was a dandy of a double play earlier, Wheels.
Yeah, Roy Oswalt was not in a whole lot of trouble here tonight, but that was a tremendous double play started by Jimmy to Pete Orr, was under pressure, and then a nice scoop by Ryan Howard on the other end. That is our Home Depot defensive play of the game. Home Depot doing more on defense.
And now 1 away for Rollins. Doubled in the first, scored a run.
He had a big opportunity with first and second, nobody out, you know, pull the ball there and do some damage, and wound up getting a, you know, what was some kind of off-speed pitch, 3-2, and into the fly ball to left field. Phillies probably think they should have gotten more off Vasquez. And to Vasquez's credit, you know, he battled out there. He doesn't have anywhere near the stuff he used to have, but he's smart, and you know, he got through it with just 3. And they had a lot of shots at him. They hit a lot of balls deep to the outfield too that were outs.
1-1 the count to Rollins. He shoots it the opposite way over the Marlins dugout. Again, the opposite way. Well, you got to stay alive over that third base dugout. Jimmy's just peppering the stands.
That's why you say, you know, it's easy to say and sometimes hard to do, but a foul ball will go in the stands and people have their back turned, and the same guy's up there that just did it, and he could do it again.
Yeah, they were looking for the last ball for a few moments. I think they found the second one.
This guy's throwing hard, and he's away. Throwing hard and away from Jimmy Rollins, and as a result he's hitting foul balls the other way. I think a ball went in there somewhere, didn't it? We're looking, we can't find it.
2-2 the count to Rollins, and the pitch from Webb. He stays alive and hits it toward the on deck circle.
Some guy probably put it in his pocket right away, and he's sitting there going,
just ran right up the stairs.
I got it. Marlins have really had bullpen problems over the years, and this is one of the reasons why they made the deal for those 2 guys, Mujica and Webb, and they're much better now, as evidenced by their numbers coming into this game.
Way inside.
They're not coughing up games late early in the season, the way they have been over the years.
Well, they also picked up Michael Dunn from the Atlanta Braves in an Ugla deal, and he's out there warming right now for that guy right there.
And he's a hard throwing left-hander who we saw last year with Atlanta.
Jimmy rolls it to second. Easy hop for Infante, and Webb has got the first two batters out here in the seventh. And let's see what Edwin Rodriguez does. He has done in the pen. There he is. And he's just looking. Ryan Howard is walking up, and looks like they're going to let him stay in there.
If Rollins had gotten on base, it had probably brought him in, because that would have mean Howard's a go-ahead run. Right now, all he can do is tie the game in the seventh inning.
A lot of confidence in Webb, though, to pitch the seventh.
Now you have another left-handed hitter on deck in Ibanez, and you figure if Ryan were to get on here, Dunn's coming into the game then.
Fooled right on that pitch.
Threw him a slider when he's looking for fastball. Figured he's ahead in the count. 1-0. He's going to get a fastball, do some damage. Got a slider. That's the result.
Webb was originally the property of the Oakland Athletics. He was acquired by the Padres when the Padres sent Scott Hairston to Oakland.
They're in a no doubles defense, prevent type defense. Don't hit it over my head, whatever you want to call it. Look how deep they are.
Yeah, it'd be hard to hit it over their head right now.
You keep it in the yard. Well, he's going with some breaking balls, then came with a fastball there.
Jay McLaughlin, handles the in-house PA, just told us that Roy Oswalt left the ball game with a lower back strain. 3-1 the count to Howard. And he lays off and takes a changeup for a strike. 3-2. 3-1 changeup.
Pretty good pitch to get over there. Well, he knows this is his last hitter, so he, maybe he won't give in. Now he may 3-2. We'll see.
Ibanez waits on deck. And he got him. So Howard is down on strikes. He came back with a slider. So a changeup, then a slider, and Webb has a 1-2-3 seventh inning. Couple ground outs, and then this. A strikeout of Ryan Howard. We go to the eighth. by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Phillies trail at 4-3 as we go to the top of the 8th. And we've got playoff buzz going on here in Philadelphia. Hip Hop is here at Citizens Bank Park getting ready for the Sixers and the Heat in the opening round of the NBA playoffs. The Fanatic just wanted to wish his old friend some luck. The Sixers will start tomorrow in Miami. And then earlier today, Carlos Ruiz wheels met Carlos Ruiz from the Philadelphia Union.
How about that? Came with jersey.
Yep.
They exchanged jerseys there. Pretty neat.
Carlos Ruiz has 2 goals for the Philadelphia Union. This is a guy who was a Golden Boot Award winner early on in his career. I think that means he led the MLS in scoring one season. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Carlos Ruiz of the Phillies is from Panama. Carlos Ruiz of the Union is from Guatemala. Hanley Ramirez hits the first pitch from Ryan Matson right at Polanco. 1 away. Matson here in the 8th. 4th ball game overall. 4 strikeouts and 3 1/3. And he'll face Mike Stanton.
Keeping Dunn up in the bullpen. It looks like they're getting Hensley up also. Looks like an old Padres bullpen out there.
I was thinking the same thing.
Webb, Hensley. Well, Padres have had good bullpens over the years.
We mentioned the oddity is that there's those relievers. No, it's Choate, the left-hander, is now up and
Yeah, it is Choate. Yeah. Is that Hensley?
That is Hensley.
They're all 42. You know, it's a little hard to tell.
Inside 2-0. Padres seem to be cash-strapped over the last few years, so that's why it was surprising that they would give up on some of their relievers, but they needed somebody to play center field in that big ballpark.
Right.
Tony Gwynn's son, Tony Gwynn Jr., didn't pan out. Now he's with the Dodgers. Two and 1 the count to Stanton. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Talk about handcuffing a guy. He was handcuffed on that pitch.
Yeah, he's thinking, what am I doing? Why would I swing at that? My rhythm isn't real good tonight.
He did it again. Well, that's a looper over the head of Matson. He's trying to track it down or gets it, throws to first in time to get Stanton. The bat went to third. The ball was spinning every which way to second. 2 outs.
Boy, bring on the dancing bears after that play. There's a lot of stuff going on. He gets another funky swing here, and that bat goes flying. I think he broke it. He broke it in half is what happened. He still had the handle in his hand, and then Pete Orr comes in, makes a heck of a play with Madsen charging him. There, see, it breaks. No, it breaks in 2. Oh my!
You know, if Matson had fielded that ball, he would have had to spin his big frame and throw to first. I don't think he would have gotten Stanton.
No, it was a good thought process on Ryan's part to try and go and help, but Pete Orr did a nice job coming on, charging, making that play.
Logan Morrison has had a good night. He's 2 for 3. Home run.
You get jammed like that too, you don't get out of the box real quick either.
Orr's laughing with the second base umpire, Bruce Streckman.
Dreckman was the only person out there in that area who didn't try to field that.
Fly ball to left, way up there. Ibanez settles under it, and it's a 1-2-3-8 for Ryan Matson. Another clean inning for the Phil's setup man. He keeps this a 1-run game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Well, every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, which Roy Oswalt did a couple times early on in this ball game, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup of digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. A beautiful view of Center City from here in the ballpark with the Phillies trailing at 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Couple of changes for the Marlins. Randy Choate is the new pitcher for Florida. He'll come on and take the place of Ryan Webb. New right fielder too. The Marlins will bring in Scott Cousins to play right field. Cousins will bat 9th. Choate will bat cleanup. I don't know if maybe something's wrong with Mike Stanton.
Possibly with some of those swings he just took. Maybe he did something. You know, trying to figure that one out. Is Cousins a better defender than Stanton? I don't know. They have the leads. You don't necessarily think about double switch and have a hitter in the spot.
Right. You figure if they have a lead going into the 9th, it's going to be Leo Nunez who's going to close it out.
So that's one of those ones that, you know, you just don't know why they did it.
Raul Ibanez has had a good night. Lefty against lefty here, and he backs off a breaking ball that's over for a strike. It's 0-1.
Left-handed hitters 202 off Choate this year. Right-handed hitters 410 lifetime. Left-handed hitters 215. So he is your classic situation left-handed reliever.
He's got a good fastball. It comes in at 89 miles an hour most of the time. That slider is his out pitch, and that one's back to the middle, caught by Choate.
Oh my.
Well, he hit it hard.
Yeah, and he's going to be a one-batter appearance too, because Francisco's up next. And here it is, a nice job on a breaking ball there by Raul Ibanez, and Choate just goes, "Merry Christmas." How'd I catch that?
Well, I didn't realize Hensley. Well, he must have just stepped off the mound and was trying to warm up in the bullpen dugout, because he wasn't even on the mound. So we got a pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th with one man down. Phillies trail it by 1. Trying to Washington Nationals will make their first trip to Philadelphia Tuesday, May 3rd. It's a 3-game series, and it's the second Hatfield Dollar Dog Night here at the ballpark. Come on out to see the Phils and the Washington Nationals. Jason Worth will make his return to Philadelphia. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. There are a limited amount of seats available for that game. Well, Phillies trail it by 1. And Clay Hensley will take over for the Marlins. There you see Hensley's numbers. You talk about bouncing back and finding yourself again. That's what Hensley's done the last couple of years with Florida. He was a good reliever for the Padres. They kind of gave up on him, though. Ben Francisco will bat for the first time.
Now Webb, who's such a hard thrower, fastball, slider, this guy's more of a breaking ball pitcher with a split.
He took over the closer's role last year from Leo Nunez when Nunez was struggling, and he did a nice job. And there is that split. 31 years old. He had a 2.16 ERA last year in 68 games. And a breaking ball, 1-2. That was a curve. I mean, it came in at 65. And a lot of games against the Phillies. A lot last year, some with the Padres. Throws another breaking ball.
Yeah, you don't expect a lot of fastballs from this guy.
Hensley split his time with the Padres during 4 years in the big leagues as a relief pitcher and a starter. In fact, in 06, he won 11 games and 29 starts. Had an earned run average of 3.71. It seemed like he had arrived. But he has remade himself as a reliever. Francisco hits it in the air to left. It'll stay in the yard as Logan Morrison moves back a couple steps. Has there been a guy this year that's hit more balls that that look good off the bat that you're thinking, maybe it's got a chance?
Yeah, that was something off speed, maybe a split or a breaking ball, and looked like he kind of hit it down the end of the bat a little bit. He had a good swing at it, but he just didn't get a lot of wood on it.
So 2 outs. Here's Ruiz, who's 1 for 3. Ruiz's average at 350. And it looked like he was taking all the way, and he takes a strike.
Regarding the line at third base now with 2 outs, third baseman right on the line is Donnie Morrissey, where he is. And they will not want to give up an extra base hit here.
Phillies led this one 2-0, then 3-1. They scored 2 runs in the first against Javier Vasquez. After the Marlins scored a run in their half of the 5th, the Phillies got a run back in the bottom of the 5th. And they had other opportunities, they just couldn't cash in. And the Marlins took the lead in the 7th with 2 runs. One of the largest crowds in Citizens Bank history. And it's getting a little louder now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a breaking ball waved at it. Missed. And the Phillies go down in order for a 2nd straight inning. Well, Clay Hensley came in, picked up for Randy Choate. He'll take this game to the 9th with the Marlins up. Marlins lead at 4-3 as we go to the top of the ninth, and that certainly has been the case. And now the closer for the Phillies, Jose Contreras, comes on to pitch the ninth because he needs to keep this at a one-run game. No real need for a closer when you're the home team. Contreras just wants to keep the Phillies within reach, which they are right now, so he's on for his 4th game. He has 2 saves and 2 save opportunities. Obviously, this is not a save situation.
WB Mason delivery of the game. Former Philly Greg Dobbs off the bench. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th inning. Second pitch he saw looked like a fastball. Lined it to left field. 1 run scored, another one right behind. A very aggressive coaching there, too, to score that 2nd run and give him the lead.
Yeah, Dobbs has had a good start for the Florida Marlins. Off the bench, there's Greg. And his 2-run single is the difference right now. It's a 4-3 ball game. Gabby Sanchez is the batter. Sanchez walked back in the 7th. And he was the 2nd run across the plate on that base hit.
You mentioned Leo Nunez will be their guy in the 9th inning. Fastball, changeup, hard thrower, and a guy that you know, he can be a little bit erratic. You can get him, so it's very important for them to keep this to 1 run.
Well, he's also incorporated a slider this year, which is because of his struggles last season, where he didn't have the separation he wanted, so they added a slider.
Be interesting to see how much he uses it, because you know, when a guy like him gets into pressure situations, they're going to go with their best pitches, and adding that 3rd pitch, as you just pointed out, Tom, that can't do anything but help him.
Here's the 1-1 to Sanchez. Fastball a little high, 2-1. Edwin Rodriguez, first full year as the skipper of the Marlins. And liner to short center. Here comes Victorino. He makes the diving grab. 1 away.
Looked like it was a tough ball to judge for Shane. You know, he kind of floated on a little bit at the beginning and then saw, okay, I'm going to come hard for it, and makes a terrific play. What he didn't want to do here is have this bounce away and give them a runner in scoring position, but he had committed and came hard at that point. Extra base hit there, not a good thing in a 1-run game, and does a nice job. He did a good job too of protecting his wrist and his hand there by cupping it when he knew the impact was coming.
1 out, and first pitch swinging is John Buck, right to Francisco. 2 outs. Contreras trying to set up the bottom of the 9th for the Phillies. They trail it by 1. He has 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. And Donnie Murphy, who's 0 for 3. When Baez got Murphy to pop out to 2nd back in the 7th, it looked like things were going the right way for the Phils. But then Dobbs had that 2-run single. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Murphy's had some tough swings, and that one's going to hurt.
Oh,
hit that ball right off his leg.
On a night like this, wow.
Oh boy, he's in an awful lot of pain right now, as you would expect.
See where it got him.
Oh, off the knee. Wow. That's hard to do.
A guy get hit on the shin last night down in Washington. Beat a line drive off the shin, right off the knee. Gary Maddox used to do that a lot because he spread out so much, and he would hit balls off his knee every once in a while, just like that.
Now he's going to limp off, and they'll let somebody finish this at bat. I would assume it's Wes Helms who will finish this at bat, because he'll come in and play 3rd. The only other guy available besides Helms is Brett Hayes, backup catcher, and there's Helms.
This will be another delayed reaction.
Murphy's limping. Boy, he is really limping.
I need to hope that he didn't do some damage there, because that was nasty.
Well, the upcoming Phillies schedule this week includes these 2 games against the Marlins coming up tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow on the Comcast Network, and then Sunday on PHL 17. Phillies then welcome in the Milwaukee Brewers on Monday. They go outside the division. They've done well against the division so far. And so Helms will dig in. Helms in his 4th straight year with the Marlins after spending a year with the Phillies. He's down on strikes, and the side is retired. Boy, he didn't even get loosened up when Contreras fired that one right at the knees. Helms will go to work at third.
That's
we
his
go to the
strikeout.
The at bat for Donnie Murphy. Leo Nunez, the new pitcher. He'll try to close it out. Nunez, 4 saves, 3rd most in the National League to start the year. A 2.57 earned run average. No wins, no losses. This is his 8th ball game. In 7 innings, he has struck out 6, and this crowd of more than 45,000 strong. What's left of it on a cool night. Hoping the Phils could pull out a last at-bat victory. And if you missed it earlier tonight, Roy Oswalt started this ball game and looked very good. Then he tried to bunt a runner up to second, and watch at the end of this play. He goes down to puts his hands on his knees, and then after loosening up, throwing just a couple pitches, Mark Anderson, Phillies athletic trainer, and Charlie Manuel come out, and they lift him from the game. At that point, the Phillies were up 1.
Yeah, and they said it was a lower back strain.
Yep. And he's walking off gingerly. And we hope he's okay as his week progresses. Pete Orr swings at the first pitch from Leo Nunez. Towering fly ball to left. And Morrison puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 set aside here in the 9th. Nunez last year saved 30 games. A 3.46 earned run average. But he ran into some trouble. In fact, gave up his closer's role. But he has settled back into the closer's role this year for the Marlins. And he'll face John Mayberry, a pinch hitter. Phillies really only have righties off the bench unless they decided to use Michael Martinez as a switch hitter or Brian Schneider, the backup catcher.
They're going to guard the line the way they were last time. They have Helms way over there with a right-handed batter up. You see where Wes Helms is to take away any kind of extra base hit. And they're very deep in the outfield.
And they're really deep in the outfield, particularly Coghlan in center.
Well, you're going to play that defense, you may as well commit to it, and they are committed to it. And that means they're going to try to keep everything in front of them or take the alleys away and turn everything into a single.
I will say this, if Mayberry lines it toward left center, with as deep as they are, if it's far enough away from Morrison, he might even go for two with Coughlin out.
Well, as a hitter, you always want to come out of the box hard in these situations, just for that reason when they're playing that type of defense.
2-0 the count to Mayberry. Inside 3-0. Trying to get aboard for the top of the order.
We'll definitely take one here.
Phillies pinch hitters have the best average in the National League at .526. Ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches.
I mean about Nunez, he can get a little wild. You know, Orr got anxious. He went out, saw a strike, thought he could drive it, do something with it, popped it up. But John Mayberry, very good at bat, taking 4 pitches. He can run too.
Yep.
Not only run to steal a bag here, but run to first to third.
Well, and particularly with the outfielders set up the way they are, base hit to right or center should get him over to third.
Yeah, you wonder if they'll come in. No, they're not.
Victorino 0 for 2. 2 walks, 2 runs scored. He's popped out, he's grounded out. The infield a double play depth, and he takes on the outside corner.
You know, unless the ball is hit where Mayberry can't break, you know, where he has to stop to let it go by him, that's an automatic first. It should be an automatic first to third, the way those outfielders are. I mean, to center and right, not to left necessarily.
Phillies led the league in come from behind victories last year, trying for one here. And Victorino slices it in the air to left. Morrison comes in, and there are 2 outs. Two outs, and Nunez will face Placido Polanco. Polanco single back of the 5th. That extended his hitting streak to 5. 3 for 14 against Nunez. And a fly ball to left. This is probably going to be the ball game. Morrison is under it, makes the catch, and the Marlins have come from behind to win it by a final score of 4-3. Edwin Rodriguez's bullpen does the job once again, picking up for Javier Vasquez as they close this one out. Greg Dobbs, the 2-run single that gave the Marlins the lead by 1, and the Marlins bullpen 4 innings of scoreless relief. They are our Chevrolet players of the game. Well, we said in the 6th that it was going to come down to the bullpens for both teams once Oswalt went out with the back injury, and that certainly was the case. Phillies had some opportunities early on against Vasquez. They scored just the 3 runs, so they lose it 4-3. The Marlins take game 1 of this 3-game series. We'll be back after this.